You are now tuned into the NordCast, a podcast covering all things hockey. With your hosts, Nordic 97, Carter Rousseau, and Jack Polko.
Hello. Shout out to my boy, Sir Hamilton Newton, as always, for making the brand new intro here for the NordCast. It's been a hot minute since we recorded an episode. These guys can explain why they weren't able to record for the last 4 weeks, so we can just move on. I'm your host, Nordic 97. I'm joined with Carter. Carter, how we doing?
We're doing good. We're finally done. Well, not finally done, but a lot of my busyness is starting to come to a close. I'm finally moved out of the old place at my dad's, so there will be a new setup at some point coming up, but that's done, and now it's just so much hockey that I can't even keep up with it. I think I've had hockey pretty much every day or every other day at least over the last few weeks, so that's kind of where it is there. And I mean, they don't get recorded if at least I'm not there, because you never expect Jack to be here, but he is. So Jack, where have you been?
Oh, same old busy stuff, college schedule.
Well, yesterday we were going to record, and then he's like, sorry, guys, I'm a little bit under the weather.
Oh, yeah. That was last week.
Yeah, that was last week.
Yeah. No, last week it was like a brutal 24-hour thing. I was out for the day, but I'm all good now.
The day.
No, I swear I didn't go to class.
Probably on a day where you didn't have classes.
No, I don't skip class. I don't skip class. If you guys know me, I don't skip class. I'm not like that.
I don't know you because you don't. Yeah. You don't show up.
I'd have to ask Tess about that. Maybe
ask her. I don't skip.
Okay. All right. So, again, we haven't recorded in a while. We're just going to kind of go over the Olympics here. We're going to try and get back to our consistent uploading now that everybody's all good and ready to go. So, the Olympics are going on. There's men's and women's things going on. We'll talk about all of that. But this is the first time in 12 years that NHL players have been in the Olympics. We're coming off of an incredible day yesterday and a gold medal win for the women's United States team today. I just want to ask you guys to kind of get the ball rolling here with our Olympic talk. How has it been just for you watching these Olympics? How much have you enjoyed it? And just how awesome is it to have NHL players in these Olympics?
Oh, it's been so fun, especially in the middle of the day when no other sports are going on. And if you're bored in the middle of the day, flip on some Olympic hockey. And, the games have been great, physical as hell. And really, the 3-on-3 overtime has kind of proven us wrong. They've really given us some great moments. I know it's not 5-on-5, how most people think it should be. But I think the 3-on-3 has produced some awesome moments, obviously, yesterday and then today with the gold medal game. So,
I like the 3-on-3. I know people really don't like it. I actually don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Carter, what has been your viewpoint? I know you've had hockey yourself, but what have you liked about these Olympics?
Yeah, the one thing that has been great, is that it's always on early in the day, which kind of sucks for me a little bit because I got to work early in the morning, so I don't get to really pay too much attention to it. But when I do, I kind of get it. It's so much fun seeing best on best. There's a reason why NHL players belong in the Olympics, and we saw it here. And I'm so happy that Four Nations was such a big success, which allowed players to go to the Olympics again. Because just the quality of hockey that we get is on another level, and it'd be as cool as it would be. It'd be unfortunate if we were just seeing, ex-pros, college guys, universities, junior players, right? It'd be cool to see that, but it wouldn't have the same feel as it does for best on best. The quality of hockey has been unbelievable. Watching Canada and getting to see the future of the league in Macklin Alberni play with probably either the two best or the two top 3, top 5, whatever you want to call it, all on a line together is ridiculous. We might never get a chance to see that again. And just the Olympics is so great. I love best on best. I've been a huge advocate for it for forever. It's the best hockey we're ever going to get.
Totally agree. Again, seeing all the guys come out from colleges and stuff, that's fun. And, all that stuff and participating in the Olympics and old guys sort of in the NHL. but it ain't the same as best on best. Best on best is 20 times more entertaining. We're going to talk about Macklin Celebrini because that kid, holy crap, dude, that guy's going to be special. Even he already is to begin with. But again, you watch these Olympic Games and seeing a lot of the best on best players, it's been so much fun to see here on the grand stage. What I've really liked is how, especially in Olympic Games like this, because I can pretty much guarantee you, if it weren't for the NHL players being here, I don't think I'd be watching this. I'm just going to be honest with you. I didn't watch 2022, probably because the NHL was going on at the same time. There's just no reason to watch it if there's no NHL going on, of course. But you take a look at, these Olympic Games, there are some guys who have really emerged here as big name guys that people maybe didn't really know that well. Is there a guy in particular for you guys that really emerged in this tournament that you maybe didn't really know prior to the Olympics?
I think Lucas Sedlak for Czechia was great all tournament. So I think he'd be my only answer for that. I'd have to think of it for a second, but he's the answer off the top of my head.
There's a couple for me. I want to let Carter go first, though. If Carter, you have your guy that you think of.
Oh my gosh. I didn't have one off the top of my head. I mean, yeah, I didn't really have a guy that kind of stuck out to me.
Okay.
Too much. But I will just like to say, we're probably going to get into him, but I just love how when it comes to Olympic hockey, Slafkovsky just puts Slovakia on his back. He's been probably, if I could pick one, but obviously everyone knows what he is. He's been a guy who's just proven that he can put a team on his back, and entirely a full country, it seems like.
We will talk about Slafkovsky, yeah. He's been moving at a crazy, just awesome level. A guy who has really impressed me is actually on Slovakia, Samuel Halavai, Minnesota Wild prospect. That guy has been incredible for Slovakia. I think he's a 932 save percentage in the Olympics so far. USA better watch out. He's been a guy that I've really been impressed with for sure. That's one thing that I like about these tournaments too. You see a guy come in here and you're just like, wow, he's still playing in the league. I had no idea Dominic Cahoon was still playing hockey. I was in shock when I was watching Slovakia and I was like, Tomas Tatar? Really? There's some guys who get named to these Olympic teams where you're just like, really? Also Sven Andrighetto as well. I was like, you're still playing hockey? Was there anybody like that for you guys who you were like, wow, you're still playing hockey here in this tournament?
I forgot David Camp was still in the league, so when I saw him, I was like, oh, dang.
He's still in the NHL.
Yeah, I know. I forgot he was on the Canucks. I had no idea, to be honest. So
he's basically been in the AHL a lot of the years. So
Flyers legend Pierre-Edouard Bellemare.
I know, bro.
I was so happy to see him in that franchise. He had the C too, didn't he? Right?
He was the captain.
Yeah.
That team was brutal.
Yeah, France was brutal. Bellemare did say this is going to be his last Olympics.
He'll come back. He'll come back when it's in France. He's coming back.
Is that when it is next year? Maybe.
Yeah, it's in France in 4 years.
I don't know.
The French Alps.
How old is he?
I don't even know.
Bellemare is 40. You think he's going to play in the Olympics at 44 years old?
I mean, who else are they going to have?
You can.
That's a good point.
He could probably quit hockey, pick it up in 3 years, and still make that team with the C on his jersey.
They're going to need him. The France hockey isn't like France basketball. You got Wembanyama coming out of there left and right.
Yeah.
Career high in points for Bellemare was 20 in 2021.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh.
Never won a cup, but the funny thing is that he was on Colorado until the year before they won the cup, and then he went to Tampa. I'm just like, Jesus.
Oof, tough.
Corey Perry stuff right there.
Yeah, some Corey Perry type crap right there. What a guy. Again, you look at, some of the teams here in this tournament. There's been a couple of teams that have surprised me. Again, Carter brought him up. Let's talk about Slovakia. Juraj Slafkovsky has really put this team on his back. A guy who has really emerged for them too is also Dalibor Dvorsky, who has become the rookie with the most points in a single Olympic tournament in NHL history. So that is pretty nuts there for Dvorsky. He had a great night against Germany, or a great morning against Germany, I guess you could say. Slovakia has been unreal. And again, like, that's a team that, like, you look at their roster, they're not, like, they don't have that many top end NHL players. They have NHL guys more than, the Germanys and the Italys and the Frances of this tournament. But a lot of their play has been from just really consistent defensive work, and they've played really well in spite of it. It's been fun to watch Slovakia play. And I think against the United States, they have a big test coming up, 100%. Any thoughts on Slovakia?
That the first game they played against Finland, super impressive. They really controlled the pace, honestly. And Finland's a team full of NHLers, and I want to say Slovakia is like maybe 60% NHLers, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Halavai in that game, 38 of 39 saves.
Yeah, that was super impressive
in that game. And then you can also look at Slavkovsky too. If I remember correctly, he is one of the first players ever to have 10 goals in the Olympics before he even turns 22. It's nuts how just consistently good this guy has been. It's been really impressive and a lot of fun to watch. Yeah. Let's take a look at Canada. Canada, obviously, now moving on to the semifinals after a quarterfinal win against Czechia. That was one hell of an Olympic game. I want to point out something that happened in said game that happened when Andre Palat scored the go-ahead goal with less than 8 minutes to go. Carter, can you enlighten me with something here really quick? How many players are usually supposed to be on the ice when the goalie is on the ice as well?
Oh, are we assuming no penalties on this?
Yes, no penalties on this. It's just, purely guys who are on the ice. No penalties, no nothing.
Okay, well, I'd have to check in the rule book, but if I'm going off the top of my head here, I want to say it's 5. You're allowed 5 skaters. Is that correct?
Yes, you are correct in that sentiment. It is 5. I know that's a difficult question to answer, but it is 5 indeed.
Is that in the rule book? Do we know?
It might be. Maybe they forgot to leave that out. Well, for those who don't know, Czechia had 6 or 8 players on the ice, 6 or 7 players on the ice when Palat scored the goal. I want to point out a photo here. I'm trying to find it really quick. Czechia.
The thing that was just so freaking funny to me is when they were all celebrating. There's 6 of them in the huddle. Yeah, I feel like in their faces, you could just kind of see they're like, "Wait, hang on." You could just see like the realization that they have.
I want to know who was the player that was not supposed to be on the ice.
So here's the article from Sportsnet. As you can very clearly tell from 2 different angles before Czechia scores the goal. Carter, you want to count how many players are on the ice there for me?
I can't count past 5. 1.
Kind of like
we got a guy along the boards here. We got a guy. We got 4 guys in the slot in between the circles.
Yep, that's 5 right there. Oh,
yeah, and then they got a referee who's wearing a jersey for some reason. That's weird.
Oh.
Oh no, sorry, that's another player. Wow, so they got 6 on the ice. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, how did they manage that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's really that's actually insane. Listen, so I'm going to say this. Canada won the game. Okay, yes, we understand that. Canada won the game. And if it weren't for that goal, we wouldn't have gotten the ending we had. So if I'm a Canadian, I mean, like, Carter, I don't know how you feel about it, but I kind of just laugh at it at this point if I'm a Canadian. But it's also just like, how do you not see that there are 6 players celebrating after the goal is scored? And I don't think you can challenge that. So it's just like, you just got to let it go. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh my God.
I find that so weird that that's not challengeable. Like, I that makes no sense. If you can challenge for too many men on the ice on a clear one like that, I don't know how you, like, I don't understand why that's not a thing. Like, I understand because because it happened again today we'll get into it with Canada's loss to the U.S. because there was like a line change and there was technically 4 U.S. players on the ice when they had possession. So they could be like, oh, well, they had 4 people on the ice. And then that just becomes like a whole stupid thing because it's like an unwritten rule that as long as they're not involved in the play, it's not going to get called really. But it's as soon as it's involved in play like that, like the Czechia one was 100% involved in the play. They were all in the defensive zone. Everyone was covering players on Canada. But like other ones like that where it's on a line change, it's like, yeah, you can't really, like you could challenge that and you'd be right. There is too many men on the ice, but then that's going to just make this game not as good. Like the whole point is getting guys out there fast. And I don't know, but they got to find a way. I don't know. Is that a rule in the NHL? Can you challenge for too many men?
No,
I don't think so.
You can challenge.
That's
for,
so weird to me.
Interference.
Like
stoppage. You can challenge.
You can challenge for an offside. You can challenge for goalie interference, but having 6 guys on the ice, if the refs don't catch it, like that to me just makes no sense.
In no way am I defending the refs here, but like, are they constantly counting the players on the ice or what? Like, I don't know, man. No way am I defending them, but like,
I hear you.
I hear you. So in a situation where it's like, you see, like they're doing a line change. All right, it's whatever. Like if they're doing a brief line change, like while the play's going their way, I think like, all right, it is what it is. Like, sometimes they call that, sometimes they don't. It really depends. But like this is like clear as day. Like this is not like, oh, you could maybe like put it on the line of like, oh, it could have been a call, it couldn't have been. This should have been a call. Like you can clearly tell there are 4 referees on the ice. At least one of only 2 can call the penalty, but there's 2 of them on the ice. I don't know how either of them didn't count the fact that there's 6 guys on for a very long amount of time. Listen, the Olympic referees, I think, they do this whole thing where it's like we pick the best of the best and all that. Like, how do you miss that? Yeah. The IIHF did come out today. They said they did review the play. They said that mistakes happen, and I get that. But, man, that's a mistake that, had Suzuki not scored that goal, they would have lost.
I'd be pretty pissed. We would probably not have a podcast today if I found out that that's how they won. And you said also linesmen can call that too, so it is 4 refs could have called it.
Oh, they can call that too? I thought it was linesmen.
Yes, maybe it is just an NHL thing, but from what I'm seeing from when I Googled it, linesmen can call that as well. Okay. So to me, that's even worse. 4 referees on the ice missed it. The entire Canada coaching staff, the entire Canada players, every broadcaster missed it until tweets started coming out. Hey, there's 6 guys on the ice here. And then it just blew up because that could have been a major, major talking point for everything. It's insane.
Yeah. I know that games go by fast. Like, I know that it's like a fast paced game, but you can clearly it wasn't like it was like a 10-second thing and they're off the ice. They were on there for a pretty good amount of time with 6 guys,
and they were all in the same zone. Yes. in the one pick, the first picture you showed, they're all in the defensive zone. It's not like it was like a breakout or whatever, and it's like, okay, I got to look back and count, got to look there and count. Oh, what if someone went for a line change? It's all right there. But I say that, and I can guarantee if it was me in those shoes, I probably would have missed it as well.
Yeah,
I don't know because I didn't watch that goal, unfortunately.
That's true. That's also true. Yeah, I mean, I saw them make it 3-2, and I was like, "Holy crap!" So I turned the game on, and then Suzuki tied it up with 3-3, and then Mitch Marner showing up in big moments. How about that, right? Wow.
But he can't do it.
No, he can't. Okay, not when the maple leaf is blue.
That was red. Not a good play by the goalie.
When it's red, he's got red in his eyes, and he sees red, and you can go. When it's blue, how red is hot, blue is cold. You know how he's wearing that blue jersey, he's just all nice and cold and literally shows in his playoff stats. And then when he's hot, rah, 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 assist on the McDavid Formations.
Whoa.
Overtime winner in the quarterfinals. Yeah, so I guess he only plays hard when it's the red jersey on.
Good. It's the only jersey he's allowed to play good in.
That's also true. Let's talk about the guy who was also on the ice for that goal when Marner scored it. Macklin Celebrini. Listen, Celebrini had a phenomenal season this year. 81 points in 55 games played with the San Jose Sharks. That's really good numbers to begin with. When he was coming into these Olympics, I didn't really expect like a crazy tournament from him. I didn't think it was going to be terrible, but I also didn't think he'd be over a point per game here in these Olympics. He has 9 points in 4 games played in these Olympic games. He has been absolutely just incredible. Like, I don't even know what to say. He has over a goal per game. That's crazy. He's been absolutely incredible. He scored the first goal of the tournament. I believe he scored 2 against France. He had 1 against Czechia. Like, what an incredible performer. And this guy's just 19 years old. Oh, my Lord. So, Carter, I watch the games too, but, Macklin Celebrini, man, what do we have to say about this kid?
I mean, before I get into him, Jack, you still like Bedard?
Celebrini is on another level right now.
Yeah, he's playing unbelievable. He's playing some of his best hockey right now. Obviously, it helps when you get an opportunity to play with a guy like Connor McDavid. Obviously, it's going to help out a lot, but a lot of these he's been making a lot of unbelievable plays as well that might not have capitalized into point chances and goals for Canada, but he's looked as good as he could possibly do. He looks like the future. He does not look like he was someone who does not deserve to be there, who's we're picking him because he's young, give him a little experience, he's going to be, fourth line guy. No, he's taken that first line role as soon as he was put on that line and has ran with it. Because when it comes to Canada needing to stack a line, they're not going with let's say McDavid, McKinnon, and we could say, I don't even know who else, Crosby or Marner or Stone, right? They're not taking those guys. They're like, no, we want the young buck, Macklin Celebrini. And just knowing that this guy's going to be around for so many more Olympics to come is just, it puts a big smile on my face knowing that he gets to wear that maple leaf on his chest for many, many more years. And he's been unbelievable. I expected him to have a pretty good tournament. Did not expect him to be at the point that he's at, because it's insane. Honestly, the fact that he's at 9 points in 4 games, over a goal a game, at an assist a game, it's impressive stuff. It's impressive stuff from him. So, I'm ecstatic. I'm pissed that my Celebrini jersey is not in right now because I ordered that thing a month ago. It's still not here. I'm pretty pissed.
Another jersey?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Where'd you order it from?
DH Gate.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, but here's the thing. It was supposed to come in right away. It was supposed to get here right before the tournament started. And then as soon as it got ordered, it got stuck in, I don't even know where it is right now.
It got stuck in shipping? Okay, I was going to say, you ordered this thing and it's going to come back. It was the biggest knockoff of all time. How much?
No. It's just, it's been shipped. It's just I don't know where it is. I've been trying to figure this out, but
maybe you'll get it.
I've only got one USA jersey.
Maybe I'll get it for the French Olympics.
Yeah. Oh, Callahan, nice.
Yeah. Ooh, Trav.
I have a blank USA. I should get a USA jersey. Yeah. I do want to preface this. Sidney Crosby in his first Olympics back in 2010 had 7 points in 7 games played. Canada's guaranteed 2 more games, whether or not they win in the semis or not. Celebrini is going to have at least 2 more points than Crosby had in his first Olympic games. Crazy. This guy, I genuinely believe he's going to become one of the best players ever. That's how he's played over his NHL career here and how he's played. This guy might be a top 10 player in the NHL right now. Seriously.
He is, for sure.
I
His
think
goal scoring touch, especially what he's like developed with all that. Oh my goodness.
he might even have been before these Olympics. But like, I'm honestly like, especially if San Jose makes the playoffs, I think he's a Hart Trophy winner, and he is in the conversation for top 5 in the NHL at 19. Jesus,
Yeah,
like it's insane.
He's unbelievable to watch. He's honest. Like when he comes to Winnipeg, I will be glued to my seat watching him skate around because he is
every time he has the puck, he's a threat.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to watch him. I try and catch every Sharks game because he's insane to watch with the puck.
Like, oh my gosh, I don't even have words for it. So speaking of which, Canada will take on Finland tomorrow in the semifinal games. Finland with a hell of a comeback against Switzerland. Like they were down 2-0 with 6 minutes to go. Aho scores, makes it 2-1. You're like, all right, maybe. Then Heiskanen ties it with like, I think 1:41 or 41 seconds to go. And then Artturi Lehkonen in overtime. Like the fact that they were like 6 minutes away from being shut out against a team that they should have probably destroyed in Switzerland is pretty impressive. And now you're heading into a game here against Canada. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be very entertaining. It's a matchup with a bronze medal game from the World Junior Championships. Although it's like completely different players on the teams. But honestly, I think again, like I'm excited. I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be a great game. I think the expectation, and again, I'll ask you guys for your predictions. I think Canada should win. That's the expectation. They got to play better, though. I thought they could have been a lot better than how they played against Czechia. I'm going to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't agree more. I think that it's definitely a winnable game. I don't want to say that it's like it's a lock that Canada's got this in the bag. It's not. But I think that they are definitely a good favorite in this. But they just can't let the star players for Finland get hot, which I think was one of their mistakes against Czechia was they let Pasternak get that goal. And that was something that took a lot of energy away from Canada and put it all on Czechia. When you let stars get hot, they start to talk on the bench. They start to influence their guys with a little bit more, and guys start to follow their lead. So if Canada can keep Mikko Rantanen under control, if they can find a way to beat Saros early and get him stressed, it'd be great. If they can lock down Granlund, if they can lock down Heiskanen, right? If they can lock down those star players,
yeah,
they're good.
What about Teuvo?
What about Teuvo? I don't know, man. You know what? You're right.
Hey, he's good on the power play.
Definitely Teuvo. Teuvo's got to be a weapon out there too. Got to make sure that he's under wraps. Maybe we should call up Connor Bedard and just see if we could get a little bit of intel there.
Oh, man. I got to tell you a funny story.
Putting Bedard on... Oh, wait. Oh, you meant on Canada. I was like, are we putting Bedard on Finland?
Yeah, funny story. I got Frank Saravallied on Twitter today.
You saw that post?
That got me. I went to Bedard's Instagram and I looked at his story and...
What was it?
Hang on, I'll pull it up.
It was a picture that he generated of like Bedard's Instagram story saying he was in Italy.
Hang on, I'm pulling it up.
I'm such an idiot.
No way.
Okay, so we can talk about Frank all we want. All right, so here's the post. Connor Bedard landed in Italy per himself. Solid chance.
Yeah, that's it.
And then this.
Man.
So I'm gonna say this. I saw this too, and I did have to take a double take. I'm like,
okay, I'm not the only one.
I'm like, okay. But I didn't look at Bedard's story. I knew this.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Wow, I did not know that Frank Saravalli was a thing.
Yeah,
you didn't know that, Carter. Have you ever been trolled by a fake hockey account? I feel like you have.
I can't recall if I have. I feel like I was close to getting Centelled one time.
I've been Centelled.
Actually, that's not true. I didn't get Centelled the one time. I got shammed one time because I didn't think... No, it was because I didn't think that it was shams. It was actually like the reverse. As I was like, this isn't shams.
Was it
like,
what was it? The Luka?
Oh, it's the Luka trade. Dude, 100%. I didn't think it was real. I thought it was a fake account. And then I look and I'm like, oh, that's a lot of followers. Oh, that's a lot of other posts. Oh, no, that's not good. Oh, there's the check mark. It's over.
Well, I never understood that trade. Anyway,
You don't have to get into that.
yeah,
I
we don't
will
gotta get
start
into that.
crying.
We don't gotta get into that Mavs fan, Carter. Yeah, the one time I got frunked was when, and funny enough, this actually became true a couple of months later. I thought the Winter Classic was coming to Utah, and I thought it was going to be Utah versus Colorado way before it was going to be Utah Colorado, and I was like, "Holy crap!" And I sent it to the group chat, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, that's Frank." Yes. I was like, not our group chat. I sent it to another group chat. I'm like, "Oh god, that's Frank." And then, ironically enough, like beginning of this year, they announced it's coming to Utah, and it's Utah, Colorado. I was just like, you know what?
Sweet stadium, by the way.
Yeah, sweet stadium. I agree with that. I was like, you know what? I just got it too late.
Is that BYU stadium or Utah?
I think
The
it's Utah.
Utes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Utah. All right. Moving on then from that and Canada, let's talk about the USA side of things here. We'll talk about the gold medal in just a moment. That was a phenomenal hockey game with the women's. USA defeats Sweden in overtime. Dylan Larkin and Quinn Hughes with the 2 goals. Hughes with the overtime winners. Zibanejad tied the game late. Hughes won an OT. That was an electric shot by Quinn Hughes. Posted in. That was bars. That was nails. I really thought Jacob Markstrom played phenomenal in that game. Had made 38 saves. Was absolutely awesome. Connor Hellebuck also has looked good in this tournament too. Jack, takeaways from the U.S. What do we think?
Yeah, I mean they completely changed their style of play after the first intermission. They started off kind of like a more like sexy style, like how you'd think the U.S. and Canada would play, trying to get like solid snipes and stuff, but it just wasn't working on Markstrom. So then they just switched to a high-low game. Hughes connected with Larkin on the little redirect there, so that I'd say that strategy works for them. But yeah, Markstrom absolutely kept Sweden in that game. And then Hughes with that shot, he tried that move like a couple other times in overtime. He just couldn't get a clean shot off, and then finally he did, and he nailed it. So
yeah, great game for the United States. They head into now. They're going to take on Slovakia, and again, like as I said when we talked about Slovakia, don't count them out. Like this is going to be a really good Final Four between all
they
4
got
of these
pride.
teams. Whether or not it's USA, Canada, or it's US or it's Slovakia, Canada, or Canada, Finland, whatever, this is going to be a great batch of games here. I want to get your guys' predictions though. Canada, Finland, who's winning?
I'm going to go Canada, but that Finland defense, it's always so tough. Like they must preach defense over there or something. In Finland, I mean,
They do a good job, yeah.
they're just producing these giant D-man left and right. That's one thing I'd be concerned about if I was Canada, but I think my pick would be Canada.
Saros has been hot too.
Yeah.
I'll also say that. Carter, what do we think?
I think it's going to be Canada. If I had to give a score prediction, I'd say 4-2. Macklin Celebrini 4 goals. No, I'm just kidding.
Did you see that take from I think it was Scott Wheeler saying that they should start Logan Thompson? Yeah, it was Scott Wheeler.
I did see that.
Logan Thompson in the semifinal game.
Dude, it's so stupid. You're not. No, we're not going through the same thing that we went through in 4 Nations, where Canada was choking a lead to Sweden or Finland. I can't remember who it was, and it was like, oh, see, this is why we can't start Jordan Binnington. This is why you don't start Jordan Binnington. Jordan Binnington's not the answer. Shut up. He just pretty much has stolen games for us since. He stole that game against Czechia. He's given us everything. Now, the only thing that does scare me right now is Canada. If you look at their recent games, they're on an upwards trajectory of goals scored against. It started off at 0, then it went to 1, then it went to 2, and then it went to 3. So
I didn't notice that.
If this pans out and my theory is correct, Canada will have to score 5 goals tomorrow or today when you're listening to this, and then 6 in the gold medal game to win. If my theory's correct. But I will say you're starting Jordan Binnington. It's not a question.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I think any other narrative is so ridiculous. Like I truly believe that. You're
When
really
Nate
gonna
just,
start.
sorry. I was just going to say, when Nate just had that breakaway, I was like, oh, it's destiny. Czechia is winning. But nope.
I thought that too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna My heart kind of skipped a beat there on that flight. No, like I'm tired of having this conversation of Jordan Binnington not being the guy. Listen, does he suck in St. Louis? Yes.
Yes.
Does St. Louis suck? Also, yes. He has proven time and time and time again that he can perform in these moments. Even if he allowed 3 goals on what was it, 24 shots or something like that in the game against Czechia, whatever. Not every goal is on him. They had 6 players on the ice when they scored the go-ahead goal. So that goal shouldn't have even been counted to begin with. But it is what it is. And I mean, I didn't watch the game fully. I was at school. That's what the negative part about these Olympics.
Yeah, I was in between classes, so I got lucky.
That's the negative part about these Olympics is that I'm at school for half the games. But again, like I think like the proof is there that he has performed at the level. And I've seen so many people in my comment section saying that, oh, it's just because, they've been taking the Canada defense has been so good. What are you going to accept this guy has performed? Even if like his numbers aren't 10 out of 10 every single game. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of having this narrative. I'm tired of it.
I had that narrative last year before the Four Nations.
We both thought that, but since then we haven't brought it up. We didn't bring it up at all.
We all thought that Jordan Binnington was not the goalie, and it was like Canada's going to be screwed because of goaltending. Who showed up? Jordan Binnington did. He did. He showed up and he played unbelievable. And it was not a matter of, is it Canada's goaltending? It doesn't matter. Jordan Binnington, famous quote, "Do I look nervous?" There's your answer. He never looks nervous when it comes to these games. Some of his best performances has come wearing the Canada sweater. You could look at last game. That was probably one of his better performances in his career.
Yeah.
In his career is probably one of his best performances. I guess Game 7 of the Cup final, he was really, really good. But you look at one of his best performances was in the Four Nations. Was when everyone was doubting him, when his back was against the wall, and it was like Jordan Binnington's not the guy. He showed up as the guy, and I said after that, I will never doubt Jordan Binnington again. Never. If it comes to a big game, elimination game, and there's one goalie I want, Jordan Binnington could be one of those guys because he shows up when it matters.
Yeah, you did it, and you've always been on that. As long as we've been talking, like you've been. We didn't talk about it at all this year. When Binnington got named to the team, we're like, okay, because we know he's going to show up. Now, starting Thompson, Thompson's a good goalie. We're not trying to.
Oh, 100%.
But you go with your guy. And he hasn't experienced the pressure that Binnington's faced. Binnington faced all that pressure in the NHL as a rookie. Yeah.
And we saw how he handled it. He's facing all this Canada pressure too. And I don't want to put that on Thompson yet, especially not in a game that goes to the gold medal. I'm not doing that. Not a chance. I'm going with the guy who's won a Stanley Cup, whose back's been against the wall numerous times, who's taken media criticism like it's nothing.
Now, let's say Canada shits the bed tomorrow with Binnington. They play in the bronze medal game. Do you go with Thompson then? Just because why not? No, you still go with Binnington? Okay.
Still going Binnington.
I feel like if it were the World Juniors, like you saw in the World Juniors, they went with Ivan Kovic in the semis and then they went to George. This is the Olympics. Like, a bronze medal means a lot more than it does in the World Juniors. Mm-hmm. So, that's
and if you want to not play Binnington on a back-to-back, win. Because that's the only way that it's not going to happen. Win, and he gets a day of rest.
Yep, you are 100% right. USA and Slovakia. Who's winning that one?
USA.
Carter, you got a smile on your face.
I really want to say Slovakia, but it will be the US. However, I do think that this game is going to actually be insane. This could be like a 1-goal game. This could be a 5-goal game, for each team.
Yeah, it feels like there's no in between. It's either going to be like a really close one or a blowout. I hope it's a close one because I'm live streaming it for the sake of that. But regardless, I think that's been interesting as well. So yeah, the prophecy is Canada, USA. Anything else, I'm going to be so upset at. I will be so upset at.
It's already shaping up as a Vancouver 2010 rematch.
It's got to be. Come on. That's the prophecy. And then Macklin Celebrini scores in overtime, history repeats itself.
Has his
There we
golden goal moment.
Yes, exactly. Just like Megan Keller today in the women's game. Let's talk about the women's. We won't touch on this for too long because I know Jack's got to go here in a couple minutes. USA wins the gold medal in the women's tournament. That was a phenomenal hockey game. Listen, for me, it's difficult to watch women's. Generally, I watched more of it in the Olympics than I ever have before, just because of the fact that whenever the PWHL is going on, the NHL is always going on. The PWHL ends before the NHL. It also starts after the NHL. It's hard for me to really kind of watch it during times like this when I'm so invested in the NHL and streaming the NHL. But this was a game that really is going to grow the game of hockey for the women's side, especially in America. Seeing a team like this with a lot of young players too, like Abby Murphy, Lila Edwards, Caroline Harvey, there's a lot of young players on this United States team. This is going to grow the game. And it was a phenomenal game, too. I mean, Canada played awesome. The narrative that I always go with is that it's very hard to beat a team twice, especially in a tournament like this. Canada proved that. United States won by the skin of their teeth. It was 2 minutes to go in regulation when the USA tied it. Both goalies played incredible. It was a high-paced game. Again, everybody always talks about the women's and says, oh, it's nowhere near as good as the men's. Okay, sure. They're not as physical, whatever. They were pretty fucking fast. That was a really fun game to watch. And it wasn't because that I got 50K views on my stream. We don't have to talk about that. Anyway. This is a phenomenal hockey game, regardless of who won it. What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, that was an incredible game. I was actually in class watching on my computer with two other friends, and I look up and it's on 4 other people's laptops. So absolutely, when you touch on growing the game, people are invested in this, man. Going on Twitter, seeing all these big accounts tweeting about it, it's just good to see. Also, so many Canadians, so many Americans are in Milan. I mean, the chants that they've been doing, the Canada and the USA chants, it's at least 10 times every game. There's so many Canadians, so many Americans over there. So shout out to all those fans. But yeah, that was a great hockey game. Hillary Knight with the goal, 2 minutes to go, the American hockey GOAT, if I'm not mistaken on that one.
Yeah, honestly, I agree.
Goal leader.
Lots of I think there's 4 Illinois natives on that team too. So
I also want to say this too. I know Carter might have some thoughts, but I overall think watching this tournament, I think we talked about the arena a little bit. I gave it some flack. I take all that flack back. It's a well put together arena. It looks like it's a great experience over there. It's awesome. Again, this is my first time really watching the Olympics. I've had a blast. This has been incredible. And that arena, it looks great, even with all the criticism we had.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts, Carter?
No, I mean, yeah, that game was unbelievable. Sucks that Canada wasn't able to get it done, but I mean, that's just a gritty performance. Losing a game 5-0 and knowing that you got to go back against them is it's a tough thing to kind of try and get through your head. And looked like Canada was going to pull it out for a little bit there, but unfortunately, the USA GOAT scores it with 3 minutes left. So really unfortunate for Canada there, but I mean, that tournament was great. The women's games were unbelievable. Even the game before, the Sweden-Swiss game, that game was great too. The overtime was really back and forth for a little bit there, and that game was great. And so, yeah, I mean, unbelievable so far. The arenas looked great. It seems like all the complaints and issues that they were having before has not popped up too much or as consistently as it was being talked about as it would be. So that's, again, another really good sign, but still, it would have been nice to have not had that kind of mindset going in. But I mean, they blew it out of the water. The only thing was they changed the decals along the boards.
What, the coloring around the boards?
Yes. So that was because of the
binning,
the Jeremy Swayman, because he lost sight of the puck.
Oh, yes.
Which is 100% right. I don't understand why people do that. Make your boards white. The puck is white. Your ice is white. If you didn't paint your ice white, you know what color it'd be? Probably pretty close to gray. And that's not fun to track a puck for anyone. I'm not going to touch base on it too much because we have something like that at our rink, and it drives me insane.
Two more things for you, Carter. Marie-Philip Poulin, last Olympic Games ever, most likely. She said she's not sure. I forget how old she is. She's like 37, right?
Yeah, she could come back, but I don't see it that
Huge
much.
difference when she wasn't in the lineup, 5-0, and then she wasn't in the lineup.
34. She could come back. 38.
Mhm.
Belmar was 40 last year. So.
She's 34 right now. Yeah, I could see her back for sure. Even if she's not in a top unit role, just having her leadership there is something that's definitely.
She had that chance in overtime. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, I was really hoping MPP would have ended it, especially when the U.S. captain ties it. You want the Canadian captain to answer it, but yeah, that was unfortunate. I hope she comes back. She's probably the Canadian Olympic GOAT for hockey.
Men's and women's?
I don't want to get into that because I haven't watched the women's side too much compared to the men's, and the men's were out of it for 2 seasons. So I'll stay away from that, but definitely the Canadian women's hockey GOAT for sure. I think that's one that I can't really put into Canadian hockey GOAT. I think that you can have your debates on Crosby, MPP, but just to make it easy for everyone, they got separate genders for a reason. So
she's one of the best.
For sure.
About that. I would say she's the best in women's hockey, 100%. And like, I think a lot of people look at it in the sense of like Sidney Crosby, Marie-Philip Poulin are the 2 greatest Canadian Olympians, at least in recent memory. Yeah. And then I did want to ask you this. I got one more thing after then for the 2 of you. Do you think there's a problem with Canada and, like, for example, you saw this year with the United States, they had a lot of their younger players come in, Abby Murphy, Lila Edwards, all that. Do you think there's a problem in Canada where they're not bringing in more of the youth to tournaments like this, or are you not worried about that at all?
Not really sure. I think that would give that advantage to Canada, but...
Well, it obviously would, but, like, are you worried about, like, Canada management not going with some of the more youth here in...
yeah, maybe. Maybe that just, like, slows them down a bit, like, not as fast-paced, but I guess maybe it is a USA advantage.
Carter?
Yeah, it definitely would be, because obviously as you get up there in age, it's kind of hard to maintain speed with the young people because that's just how it works, right? As you get older, the other players get younger, the new players get younger, they get faster, you get slower. That's just how it works, right? That's the circle of life. And Canada went with experience, and it's something that they do a lot. We saw it 2 World Juniors ago, where, you saw some of the guys that were draft eligible in that year that did not make the team, just based off of, we're going to go with some other guys and guys who are, in their 20s. It's like in high school basketball. You know how all the seniors are on varsity for the most part because they're seniors? It's like that, where sometimes you don't always take the best player available. You take the older one, the one that's got experience, even if it makes your team a little bit worse. You just do it for the players. And that was unfortunately something that happened in the World Juniors. And I don't know if it's something that happened here for the women's side, but it's definitely an option. As far as for the men's side goes, I don't think so. The only real debate for a young player to make it, well, I guess there was 2, was Schaefer and Bedard. But Bedard, I can understand. Schaefer's a rookie. It's very hard to throw a rookie into a best-on-best first year. He has been dominating. He has been great, but I'm not holding them against it for Matthew Schaefer. And Bedard, I can understand, but I mean, especially when you're a team that won a gold medal last year, maybe you can take some familiar faces.
They're very high on Schaefer. When Armstrong talked about Schaefer after his conference, I don't know if you guys remember this, like he was very, very high on Schaefer.
Yes.
I can confidently say this right now, and then we'll end here. I can confidently say he will be there in 2030. I can confidently say that.
Yeah.
Not even.
You didn't have. I feel like that was like unwritten. I don't even think you had to say that.
I'm still gonna say it just so
You're just putting it out into the world, anyways.
Just so I'm read in 4 years, right?
Yeah. Hey guys, remember in 2026 when Schaefer was so close to making it? I said he's a lock in 4 years. He's only gonna get better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you think Celebrini will be on the 2030 team or?
No,
That's up for debate. He's got to really prove it this tournament.
no, Bedard's gonna come in and replace him.
And he'll be in that one. That's for sure.
I don't know. He didn't make it this year.
You guys are ridiculous.
They'll probably go with Travis Konechny again or Seth Jarvis.
Konechny, yeah.
Yeah. All right. That'll do it for us in this episode of the NordCast. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be more consistent with episode uploads and all that good stuff. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to yet again another episode of the NordCast. If you enjoyed, please subscribe down below or follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. If you want to follow us on TikTok, we are at NordCast. If you want to follow us on Instagram or Twitter, follow at NordCast_. That'll do it for this episode. I'm Nordic. Thanks for listening from all the crew, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.